Well, hello there, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you. It's actually a Monday evening. This is October 27th, 2025. We just have one, two, three, 4 more days until Halloween. Do you know what you're going to be? All right, you got a few days to think about that. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time here, I want to take the opportunity to say welcome and thank you. If you're coming back, I definitely want to say welcome back and thank you for coming back and thank you for choosing to make my content a daily part of your life to apply and become a better version of you. All right, guys. If you are new here, don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com. Right after the show, you can get long form content, short form content, replay these shows and other shows and articles and much more. So definitely check that out. I just had dinner not too long ago, so feel free to go get yourself either a snack from the kitchen. It could be some RO water, it could be another beverage, hot or cold. It could be fruit, could be nuts, something sweet, tart, healthy or not. That's totally up to you. And if you guys remember, for those of you that they're coming back, but if you're new, I'll let you know. This week we have another great master topic. So our master topics always start on a Saturday and they wind up on a Friday. So we go Saturday to Friday. That's our week. And so the master topic for this week is everyday wisdom on doing what's right. Tonight's granular topic is micro moments of integrity, 30 everyday ways to do the right things. That's series 4, show 44, episode number 3. Without any further ado, guys, let's kick this show off. All right. I know you're excited as well as I am. So let's get this show off the ground. Welcome, like I said, welcome to another episode of the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life. And tonight we're featuring micro moments of integrity, 30 everyday ways to do the right thing. Now, a lot of times people don't do the right thing because no one else is watching, but that is exactly when you should be doing the right thing, even when somebody else is not watching. Again, this is series 4, show 44, episode 3. That means, guys, in less than a few months, we will be done with series 4 and we'll be on series 5. We'll be on the air 5 years. Wow. On the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show. I am your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist. I'm sure you guys know that, right? And yes, I do a lot of great things here. Besides being a marketing specialist, I'm also a podcast host, a podcast coach, regular coach, and marketing specialist, right? Video producer. And I'm also a graduate student, of course, a passionate lifelong learner. And that's pretty cool, guys. And today or tonight, I invite you on a journey with me to explore how ordinary choices become extraordinary acts of character. Through my own experience and wisdom collected along the way, I'm going to guide you into uncovering how the simplest actions can create a ripple effect of integrity. And that's real change. Integrity is something you don't want to speak lightly about because integrity is not something you do to brag. Integrity is something you are or you become because you want the best. You want others to have the best. So speak up, ladies and gentlemen. When you witness unfairness, silence can be mistaken for consent. I don't know if you know that. So if you're around somebody and they're doing the wrong thing and you're not speaking up, it means that you agree with them. Yeah, isn't that terrible? But just so you know that, silence means that you agree. When you step forward to address unfairness, you show courage and help set the tone that justice matters. Whether it's in the workplace, among friends, or out in public, your voice can protect those who might otherwise be overlooked. I think that's a very important one to think about, right? How things can be overlooked, and that overlooked is something that might trip you up sometimes, but it shouldn't. It should help you realize one thing: that you can return lost items even if no one's watching. And so doing the right thing when no one else sees proves true integrity. returning lost belongings not only helps the owner, it builds self-respect. Did you know that? Yeah, it builds self-respect. And these gestures start to build trust in your community, even if the reward is just the satisfaction of honesty. Apologize sincerely when you're wrong. I know a lot of us out there when I was younger, I never want to admit that I was wrong, but you know what? It's okay to be wrong sometimes. I'd rather be wrong than be dishonest. I think that's an important marvel that I want to drive home tonight. Uh, Being right is great, but if you're wrong, it's better to fess up and say you're wrong than to be dishonest. A genuine apology restores relationships and it builds trust. Owning up to mistakes with humility shows maturity and creates space for healing while teaching others that growth is possible for everyone. You know, I think a lot of times people want to take the credit, and I get that, but the best credit is usually when there's no credit, when people just happen to just appreciate the value. But a lot of people stand and say, "Hey, I want to get that credit, right? I deserve that credit." Give credit before taking any yourself. Everyone I know always wants to take the credit themselves, but a true leader knows how to give credit first before ever taking any credit themselves. That's truthful. Recognizing others' contributions uplifts teams and builds camaraderie by celebrating others' wins before your own. You invite collaboration and foster a positive environment, setting an example for leadership. Yeah, leadership. And I think sometimes, that can be a problem for some people because they don't necessarily know, like, what that means. And what I want to tell you is that leadership is not something you're born with. Leadership is something that you um, learn along the way. All right. It's something you learn along the way. And because you learn this along the way, it's like things change and you get these different perspectives in your life. I think that's really important. Keep your promises, big or small. I've known people that have promised things, and you know what? They always unpromise things because, well, they got a better offer. Not only is that rude, that breaks trust. I'm sure you've had friends that have done that in the past, right? They kind of look to see if something else better is going on. If there is, well, then they make an excuse that, well, you know what, I I have something else to do. I totally forgot I had something else to do. Like, come on, like seriously. I mean, you're gonna play that game with people, like your friends. You're really gonna play that game. But people do play that game. They play that game every single day, and I think that hurts a lot of people. It hurts a lot of people to know that you know they thought they were important or mattered to that person. And then it's like, whoops, I guess you don't matter. That hits below the belt. Trust is earned through reliability. Commit to your word. Whether the promise is large or it's trivial, it's the consistency that people remember and rely upon, laying the foundation for strong, lasting connections. So, whether you promise to get your friend a candy bar or you promise to spend time with him or her, when you're a person that says something and then you don't do what you say, like I had a new friend that I just met not too long ago, and when you promise you're going to do something, you do it. Like if you're going to go visit them or spend time with them, you spend time with them. You do it. Okay. I think that's the difference between somebody who's being honest and somebody who is just, well, going through life with the motions. There was a great person a while back that said something very interesting I'm going to share with you. And that was the fact that, a lot of times we think that our day is getting too crazy for us, or there's too much in our day. But actually, it's not that at all. It's our perspective. One, you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just overwhelmed. And then the next day, you can just chill and you can realize that you got more done than you expected, or just exactly what you want to get done, and you didn't feel overwhelmed or burdened. That's key, guys. Offer your seat to someone who needs it. What do I mean by that? Well, that doesn't just mean, somebody on the bus, okay? That could mean something proverbial, right? And if we think about proverbial, we're talking about a situation that hypothetically may or may not exist. Maybe you've been on the bus before and somebody wants that chair. So you give them that chair. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. But do you do it because other people are watching you? Or would you give that seat to that person even if no one else was on the bus? I know if I was on the bus, and whether somebody was watching me or not, I would still offer that seat to that other person, that elder person. And, life sometimes can be an enigma. And the enigma can kind of put us into this tailspin or a merry-go-round, saying, oh my gosh, how do I get off this merry-go-round? Like, we've all been through those times, right? So we have to learn to sip the Kool-Aid, sip the water, sip the drink, enjoy the food, okay? Bite by bite by bite, not like chunk by chunk by chunk, okay? Not mouthful by mouthful, but bite by bite. And when we can do bite by bite, that's when we start to appreciate what is around us. And that's also, ladies and gentlemen, when we can slow things down. When we can slow things down. And I think that's a very important point, is that when we slow things down, we find that life gets easier for us. Life gets easier for us. Why? I think it's because things change for us. And we get that different perspective of life, right? We get that completely different perspective of life. And that perspective of life says, hey, this is what's going on. And that might get you to change, like, oh my gosh, like, I don't believe that. Like, I can't believe I just did that. And I'm here to tell you that that is what makes your difference, guys. That is what makes your difference. Nothing else. It's the little things that you do in life that make the difference. I said the little things, right? The little things. So the little things matter. Sometimes more than the big things, because the little things teach us to have humility. The little things teach us to appreciate life. The little things allow us to give a gesture that doesn't have to be a grand one, and how we can make a difference in other people's lives. Small moments of kindness speak volumes. Offering your seat, as I said, shows you're aware of others' needs and are willing to sacrifice comfort so someone else can benefit, reinforcing empathy and respect for all. How about holding the door? So holding the door is another one. You might think, well, what big sacrifice is that? Well, plenty. If you're outside and you're holding the door and you're freezing your butt off, holding the door means a lot to people. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. It does not cost you anything to be nice. But if you are nice, then it's like it's icing on the cake. And people love it when you can be genuine, when you could be nice because you want to be nice. So honesty, guys, honesty is very, very important. I think sometimes we don't realize the complimenting others honestly, not for flattery, but to be authentic. Compliments uplift without expectation. When people give a compliment, so many people I know are doing it because they're waiting for something. They're looking for something. They've already got their compliment. They've already got what they need. That's not anything special, guys. That's nothing special. All right? If we can just live in the moment without an expectation, okay? Try that tomorrow. Live in the moment without any expectation. And when your words come from truth rather than from superficial flattery, you nurture genuine encouragement, thus helping others believe in themselves. I'm not going to name any specific people here, but I want to share some situations. So I was at a not-for-profit not too long ago, and I was just blown away with the amount of, let's say, superficialness that actually exists there. The superficialness that actually exists there. And so I think that's something that a lot of people, don't realize that, we stay a certain way, we go a certain way because we want to make a difference. But some people do this for no other reason. And that reason, guys, is because they want to make a difference. A difference in your life, a difference in their life, right? It's about difference. And so I want to tell you that you can change things, but you have to be somebody that wants to do this. You have to be vested in yourself and vested in others. So many people I know will do things because they want to please a crowd. That's just nonsense, guys. That's absolutely, absolutely nonsense. And they do it because they think they're going to get something. But in the end, they don't get anything. They just get disappointment. If you give a compliment because it's going to be the best, and you're doing it for integrity, okay, then it's going to work for you, okay? If you're doing it because you're trying to impress somebody, or you're trying to say, hey, look at me. What you do in secret, or what few people know about you, will be rewarded in public. This is actually something that was stated in the Bible. I don't know if any of you guys are religious here. But flattery, I see this so many times at not-for-profits, and they think that they are doing the best for everyone. But you know what they're not doing? They're just lying to themselves and everybody else. Refuse to gossip about yourself, about friends, or in public. Your voice can protect those who might otherwise be overlooked. Okay? These are important things to realize, guys. And I think if we can understand this and know that our team works, that's important, guys. Really, really important. Check in on people. Do the right thing when no one else sees that you are doing it. This proves true integrity, belongingness, and it not only helps the owner, but it builds self-respect. And these gestures, well, they build trust, guys. Authentic compliments lift up the community, okay? They lift up the community. Respect boundaries, even when no one else enforces them. Boundaries deserve respect, even if no one else is watching. Apologize sincerely. We talked about that. I think that's a really big one. But I think to own your own decisions for good or bad and be accountable. That's right, guys. Be accountable, because it'll build trust over and over again. And own up to mistakes with humility shows maturity, right? We know these things. But why is it we don't do them? And it creates space for healing. We know that. While teaching others that growth is possible for everyone, right? I think these are hard for some people to realize, but I want to tell you that life is about being human. It's about being kind, right? Keeping confidences. Don't betray private discussions. What you learn from your friends in secret, let it stay in secret. Don't try to be a hero because you think you're going to be a gossiper and you're going to know all the juice on people. No one's going to like you. Set an example for leadership. Okay? Keep your promises, I said, big or small. This is so very important. Commit to your word today and every day forward. Whether the promise, like I said, is trivial or whether it's something that really doesn't matter to you. It matters to others. Learn to use someone's correct name. Names, as Dale Carnegie said, are the most important thing. So learn how to say their name. If you don't, ask them. They'll be happy to help you. And rely on laying the foundation for strong, lasting connections. Because when you know somebody's name, it's the most beautiful word that they ever could hear. Offer your seat to someone, as I said, who needs it. And I think these small moments of kindness speak volumes, right? They speak volumes because when we understand like what's happening or why these things are happening, I think that really changes, like it changes who we are. And the who we are is not so we can brag that, hey, I'm this, I'm that. We build ourselves up for integrity because we are a person of integrity. If we have to go out and say, hey, I'm integrity, hey, I'm honest, well, what good is that? Right? What good is that? Why would you want to make a mockery of, hey, I'm honest, hey, I'm sincere? If you're honest and sincere, then you shouldn't need to tell people you are. When I was younger, I used to say, hey, I'm the real thing. You can't do that, guys. The reason you don't do that is because it makes people think that you're not the real thing. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does. And so if we can understand that, then everything else in life is easy. But integrity comes from a choice that we don't just make today, a choice that we make every day, kind of like a diet, right? We don't decide to be someone who's full of integrity one day and stop the next day. Oh, it's hard. Being someone of integrity, sometimes it's not easy. Somebody's not doing a great job. You have to tell them. But it doesn't mean to be rude. Whenever you're around people and they're doing something that is dishonest, and you're hanging around that crowd, and other people are there, and you're not saying anything, you are consenting to their actions. This is why lots of times in grammar school and high school, when people hang around the big kids, it's like, you can be with us, but just don't say anything. And really what they're saying is, you can hang around us, but you got to agree with everything. Now, they don't say that directly, but the fact that they say you don't say anything, that basically means that you're consenting. It's kind of nasty how they're doing this. And other people look, oh, you're with them? Oh, I don't agree with that. Well, you must agree with them. I mean, you're not saying anything. Oh, well, they just told me to keep quiet. You told me to keep quiet. Yeah, you just didn't talk. Yeah, but if he keeps quiet, that actually means he's agreeing with you. It does? Yeah. And then they start to feel really bad, and then they start to be, well, we didn't mean it like that. We just didn't want them to talk because, we're just like, they're BSing, basically, is what they're doing. And I've known many people that say they're going to help you. And then when the push comes to shove, they suddenly have plans. Oh, was that this weekend? Oh, was that this restaurant? Oh, was that the time you meant today? I thought you meant PM, not AM, or something like that. It's horrible how people play these games with others in the world. And I have to tell you, this is a form of manipulation. It really is. I mean, whether you say something, you don't say something, right? The fact that you're quiet means that you're secretly, that you're agreeing. And somebody didn't know that. Like many years ago, I might not have known that. And here I am there, not saying anything and agreeing. And now somebody comes along, they're not doing something right. I can get in trouble because now I'm agreeing with them. That seems really like bad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who I am by now, allow me to introduce myself again. I am Mr. John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and it's always such a privilege, a pleasure, and honor to be with you here on Inspirations for Your Life, as well as many other shows. I hope that you guys will take some serious thought over tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, and figure out what you want to get for Halloween, like what you want to be. You still have time to go to the Spirit Halloween or other stores, and you'll probably spend like $100 or more. I know the one year, I told you I might wear my costume on Halloween. I'm not sure yet. I might do a Halloween show, I have to say. And I have a couple costumes. And the one costume, I'm not going to tell you what it is. One costume, I think I spent like $100 for it. The costume's not worth $30 or $20. But because it's Halloween and because it's a captive market, they can get that price. I remember buying a door knocker several years ago. I think it was like $60. And it plays all these like, well, they're kind of funny, but a little bit scary type of things for people coming to your door, basically trying to get rid of any trick-or-treaters. But it's basically this talking head, if you will. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope you understand that micro moments of integrity are meant to last. They're meant to give you a tip, and hopefully that you'll choose to, let's say, keep up this diet for the rest of your life. Because if you do, those will be the people that will hang around you. If you just sip the lemonade for one day and you come off it, well, you're not going to attract the same people. People are wise, and people want to hang around people that they want to be with. It's positive energy. Have yourself a great evening or a good day, and I'll catch you real soon, everyone. Be well. Take care.